What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Grace and Good Friends. This is episode 4, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Kid Prince. Y'all make some noise. Yeah. Y'all don't understand. This is actually really funny for us right now because we actually had a whole three quarters of an episode.
Introductions are out the way.
Half episode, like we were rolling on cameras for 20 minutes and then we realized I forgot to press record on the mixers. So this is actually our second take, but it's all good because it's the only one you're going to see. And regardless, we're still happy to be here. But before we tap into, man, you, Prince, Kid Prince, and everything that you got going on, I want to take a quick moment and say thank you to this episode's sponsor, Drape Guys Event Solutions, based out of Dallas, Texas. Y'all put us on game. You're here sponsoring the second camera today, which is why we're able to level up the production of this episode. So shout out to y'all over there at Drape Guys Event Solutions in Dallas. Speaking of Dallas, I always feel like we're just like I'm gonna try myself not to like try to repeat what we just recorded.
It's all good.
It's always a challenge, but I want it to be natural too. But let's talk about it, man. Where are you from? How long you been here? What's going on? What's your background looking like?
So I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, specifically Port Richmond. So I'm on the more North Philly, northeastern side, near the port.
Okay.
Yeah, been there 16 years of my life. So since birth up until 16, we were in Philly. A lot of traveling during that time with my siblings and my pops, from Pennsylvania to St. Louis to North Carolina as a jet until I finally settled in North Carolina in my sophomore year of high school. And then we moved here to Dallas, me and my wife and my son, about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Next week. Yep.
So your boy was really young when y'all moved here.
Just turned 1.
Just turned 1.
Yeah, just turned 1. Actually just started learning to walk and talk. So this is all he knows right now. Like he's really coming into himself here in Dallas. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
So be a Dallas boy.
Yeah.
Cowboys fan.
He's still gonna be
That's where you draw the
flying with
line.
them birds. Still gonna be flying with them birds.
It's Eagles, right?
Eagles.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
sir.
Let's go. Shout out to Jody, flies an eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the single. Oh, that's really cool, man. All right. You know me. I like to eat, and I hate, again, repeating and whatnot. But, like, we talked about the cheesesteaks the first round.
Yeah.
Let's just touch on that real quick. So my man here is telling me that for those of y'all in Texas, maybe you haven't been to Philly, you go to a restaurant, you order a Philly cheesesteak, it's not game. Like, it's just, he said he compared it to brisket earlier. And
I mean, I think that's what y'all use, or the place I went to. It was, I'll put it like this.
it wasn't on point.
I mean, you're not in Philly.
It's
so
mid,
they shouldn't
yeah.
even call it a Philly cheesesteak to begin with.
It should just be a cheesesteak.
Just a cheesesteak, a cheese sandwich.
A cheese sandwich is crazy.
With-
It's almost like a grilled
steak.
cheese.
That's basically what it was. Like,
Oh my goodness.
wow, man, no peppers, no onions, none of that.
Oh, that's not okay.
Nah.
I've been to a couple places. They do like, they're kind of like hole in the wall.
Yeah.
They do like it's called like Philly and wings or something.
Well, see, they might be actually from Philly. I might have to try. You might.
Oh,
have
is
to
that
do
the
That's
okay? So is that a thing in Philly, like Philly and wings?
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Oof. Okay, they might, because those places I go is pretty good. I still don't know what it's like in Philly, but you know they do got the onions.
It's
They do
always
got,
gonna be better in Philly. They still gotta use Texas ingredients. Here.
so the
So-
ingredients can't hang.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Real quick, before we get off the menu, what's your take on the chicken cheesesteak? Because that is a thing. Is that a Philly thing? Is that a Philly thing, or is that just
I
something?
mean, it has to be. We have so many different cultures in Philly. So many different people. Some people don't eat red meat. Certain religions don't allow it. So I don't hate on it. It's still good flavor.
But it's like number 2 for sure.
The facts.
To
I
the
don't
to
even
the
touch
to the
it.
steak.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, that's getting me hungry, so I'm gonna chill. Man, all right, Philadelphia. You're here in Dallas.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier like you kind of hit the ground running here in Dallas, right? You had just hopped out of an agreement with UMG,
Yeah.
where you were writing for other artists, which is actually pretty cool. Like, what was that like? Like, do you feel like you went harder because you wanted to prove yourself as a writer, or do you feel like you held back because you weren't writing for your own work?
Well, I definitely held back. Yeah, I definitely held back. I was always pretty confident in my pen game. I've been spitting since a youngin. Freestyle battles. I used to do battle rap. I used to hit up different radio stations for like their freestyle competition and stuff like that. So I was pretty confident in my pen. I think the reason why I held back was because like it was secular artists I was writing for, right? When I was approached, I thought it was because they actually liked my music, which they did, but it turns out they felt that you could help some of the artists that we already have.
They needed the pen.
Yeah, they needed the pen before, we had to consider dropping them.
Oof.
Right? So
You were like Captain Save a artist.
pretty much recording the demo,
Wow.
send it out. I'll get the beat, record the demo, send it out. NDAs. So like I think my NDA still is active for another 2 years.
Okay.
So like publicly can't even say who. Like I have in private conversations, but like in on camera or
There's no way. Yeah.
while I was with them, I wasn't allowed to release my own music because
wow.
of competition agreements. So like a competition clause.
Oh, like a no compete type.
Yep, no compete type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also because I was privy to who needed a ghostwriter or a writer, they didn't want me to release a song exposing. Yeah, Meek Mill messed up a lot for everybody. That's the writers, bro.
Your first bar was gonna be like, "I know you ghostwriting, boy, because I'm the one who writing it." That's crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, right. It was cool. It's just that I knew that, and I'm a saved, so I knew that the Lord had a totally different plan. I did it out of desperation. I was about to get married. I wanted to make sure that I provided us with all the necessary tools to succeed. Financially to jump ahead of things. And I thought that was a good avenue. It's like you don't get that many opportunities. I thought it would turn into something else.
Right.
But it was not. I wasn't using my talents the way the Lord intended me to use it.
Do you regret that season, or do
No.
you take it with a grain of salt?
I
Like,
learned a lot.
okay.
I learned a lot about the industry. I learned a lot. Like, it opened my eyes. I think it kind of helped prevent the naive part of everything. So like as an artist, and I talk to artists now, and their goal is, hey, I'm gonna get super popping on social. I'm gonna get TikTok famous. A label's gonna come out and sign me.
Go on tour.
I'm gonna go on tour. I'm gonna do this, and it's like, it's not.
It's not really it.
It's not how it goes,
Yeah.
So
And we're all kind of like experiencing that to some degree, just learning like, man, everybody's process is really different.
everybody's
and,
process is different.
and there is no timeline.
No timeline.
There is no time and no like boundaries.
No boundaries, and you can't put all your chips on a what if. Right? Oh, I'm this good that somebody's gonna see me. That I don't really have to do much work. Right?
That's crazy.
So
I feel like a lot of people, and I don't mean to like, cause we're kind of like in the same age group. I don't mean to like point no fingers at no youngsters, but I feel like I have heard that mindset be vocalized, and they tend to be like younger people, like no matter what, like it's gonna happen, and I think that's okay. Like there could be some truth behind that,
right.
but also like I see what you're saying is like there has to be some amount of work put in.
You have to.
And don't get me wrong, like a lot of people understand that too. I'm not categorizing one specific group of people and putting a blanket over all of them, but I'm just saying like I agree with you. Like there has to be a work ethic.
It has to be. I think the biggest thing is there was an age of like SoundCloud. You had this like influx of a lot of different artists who were getting discovered on SoundCloud. The lo-fi, very low quality recordings. You didn't really have to put in much effort to get discovered. You had the little pumps.
And then they kind of like blew up.
They
Honestly,
blew up because it was easier to market. These guys had already had garnered millions of streams on SoundCloud.
So by the time they hit the label booth,
all they did was re-release what was already popping on their thing. So, and that was short lived. None of those artists are still unless they did a rebrand.
and it was a label driven rebrand.
A label driven rebrand. They're not.
Yeah, because that I think I could narrow it down to like 2 years. It's probably like from 16 to 18, and that's really when like a whole shift happened. Like before that, like SoundCloud was like actual like underground, like
Very underground.
people were dropping mixtapes and like it was still, it was cool, you know, like it
Repping
was,
YouTube beats.
it was
It
quality,
there.
like it was
Exactly.
there. But then it kind of just like, I don't know, something happened.
Well, you know,
In the sound, the content, everything changed.
we have to really give it credit. SoundCloud was like the first real taste of streaming that people. It was easy access to music, easy access to new artists.
You got the profile,
You had the
the
profile.
song. They could categorize their things into
You
albums.
actually interact with your fan base, with people. They leave comments on your tracks.
Yep. Share it, repost, like
Follow
it.
you. Exactly. All
Oh,
that thing
wow.
to your social. So SoundCloud did that for a lot of artists. Where if you couldn't afford a distribution or a distributor yet, or you didn't know how to get a distributor,
You could still provide
upload your tracks there.
for streaming. It kind of like combine. It's kind of like if streaming services and social media had a baby.
You got SoundCloud.
Wow, I never thought of that. I have a SoundCloud, like, and I put not all of my music on there. All of my music, it goes directly to TuneCore. I use TuneCore, but every once in a while, like I upload onto SoundCloud, and it's cool. You know, I got
Yeah,
like 15
still
little
right.
followers. You know, like
It's still interaction, and it's still an avenue, right? But SoundCloud at that time was like, it was just easy for everybody.
yeah,
And I think people were tired of radio. They were tired of
they
mainstream.
needed
at the moment.
something different,
Yeah.
and it was there.
And it was there.
Man, that's wild. I don't even know how we got onto all of that. I'm like trying to backtrack, I'm thinking of my next smooth conversion, and I'm actually stumped.
Just asking them like if I regret any of that, and just learning.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
There we go.
And with the younger artists thinking that they don't need a machine behind them to get going, or some type of battery to put in work.
But it really is mandatory.
It's mandatory. And if and I put it like this: you need a community, and this is specifically. I want to talk specifically to like Christian artists, right? Because y'all
Y'all
are
listen up.
called to be set apart and to do things a little different. And I hear the same thing like, hey, look, business is business and all this other stuff, and you still got to have the art aspect. But if you're chasing the sound of a secular artist, you're chasing the mannerisms of a secular artist, you're chasing
Or the
their,
come up of a
the come
overnight
you
success.
want their story. You like if you grew up white picket fence, suburban area, you were a car driver, you didn't have to ride the school bus. Be okay with that.
Embrace it, honestly.
Embrace it. Like let that be your story. You don't have to say you got it out the mud. And what happens is now I'm seeing artists, and we know a couple, who choose to isolate because they want that underdog story.
Mm-hmm.
They want it to be as organic as possible, so they decline community. They decline people, and they have yes men who tell them.
And that's
dope.
a big risk versus loss, because
is.
to decline community is almost like to decline. Well, it is to decline like accountability.
Accountability.
It's to decline feedback, because like you said, they're stuck with nothing but yes men.
In turn, humility is out the window.
Because now your ego is set up to be puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
So
then I'm that guy. So like, if there are people with me, they're gonna do what I say,
Right.
because they want to.
I'm the head of the snake.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not. Maybe one day, certain artists will reach a level of success to where like they can man their team, and that's okay. Like if you are so high on the chart, like you're just high on the chart, and that's just the way you operate. That's okay. But to play that role when it's not really that role is something else. That's kind of
It's
crazy.
something else. And why? Because you don't have to be alone.
Mm-mm.
Like we have the advantage in this industry. I will argue to anybody, we have the advantage to succeed. Not only do I feel like we have the most content we can speak on, the most substance we can speak on,
Background.
it's a variety of different backgrounds
Relevance.
in this body. Relevance. It's not corny to be an authentic believer and put that on wax, right?
Right.
Nas talked about God in almost every record. Kanye did it for a long time.
The
Chance
opening track on Good Kid, Mad City is literally the sinner's prayer.
Yeah.
It's a
So
group of
like if
kids
you're
accepting
scared
Jesus.
that like the masses are going to reject you, or if you're saying oh, I'm just trying to infiltrate secular
That's
so I
crazy.
can bring them to the Lord, introduce them. Don't
That's not the best tactic
It's not, but don't underestimate the power of the
of just being
gospel
yourself.
and being yourself
Wow.
and the gift you have. Don't underestimate that because there's power in it and you could be used to do so. And don't underestimate the power of a community and having a clique with you.
Yeah.
Guys who will tell you, nah, that ain't it. And keep you in check and keep you humble and keep you accountable for your actions.
Iron
because-
sharpening iron.
Exactly. So when you do get discovered, when you do get signed, you won't fall for any of those traps.
And you won't fall into like you won't fall into just settling. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be getting better as you grow.
Exactly. You're okay with growth.
Cool, man. Just got the word from our cameraman. We're down to our last battery, so we're gonna push it. Looks like that bar lasted over 16, so we probably got a little bit minute. Just give me a heads up when we go to 0, because it should blink before dying. Man, Prince, man, I want to talk about, and we kind of started it. We opened it up, but then we dove into that. But so you came to Dallas from the East Coast area. You've been moving around your whole life, and that's honestly that's something different too. I just realized in my life too, like moving at the ages that I moved, like drastic moves at that time and place, thought it was normal. It's really not, bro.
It's not.
It's really not, bro.
It's not.
And sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's why I messed up. Like, no, not messed up, but
Well,
man,
always on the move.
I didn't even realize that, bro. And it really is impacting my adult life, man, and the way I think and the way I trust and like just so many different areas. So it's crazy. So you went through that through similar process of just constantly moving around. You touched down in Dallas, man. You're married. You're a husband, a full-time husband, full-time father
Right.
to the little man, your twin.
Right.
And then and you're still working on music, man. So the UMG thing flew out the window. You're connecting with people online. You say you connected with, you're looking for, as you said, it was ironic because you're looking for some DFW community because you're new here. But the first people you touch base with is Orlando and Toronto. So like, that's great. Bro, y'all made the triangle, bro. Like,
Yeah.
or something.
Every point.
Yeah, you know what I'm
in
saying?
North America.
Y'all's, the fourth member's finna be from LA. Like,
Right. Hey,
so what happened with that, man? Briefly. Like, what, who are y'all?
yeah, so Remnant Sonics, man, it was Remnant Sonics was actually birthed from a vision from the Lord for Adam. Crazy story. One day he'll tell it. He was woken up out of sleep and literally heard the Lord say that he was going to have him to run the industry, to pretty much just shake it up and change the industry. And it was powerful. We heard it I think he said 3 times, just clearer and clearer each time. And so he took that and hit the ground running. And so it was December, right before I moved here. Actually, a little bit after I moved here, he was starting this Remnant Sonics thing, and he was just engineering. Austin had been a producer he was connected with, and 2 months later, I started doing some business with them, buying some beats, getting some engineering services. We connected off of CHH Promotions, so shout out to Jay Bez.
Yeah.
And literally 2 months of me working with them, he invited me on.
Wow.
To help build this thing up, and yeah.
That's major, man. 3's a chord, or what's the scripture? It's like a 3 chord is not easily.
Not easily broken.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That's good, man. And that's exciting. And like honestly, that shows all of y'all's faith to a degree. Just like in the simple fact of geographical displacement, bro. Like you're in 3. That's not easy.
It's not.
But you still making it work. Luckily, today's culture, you know, we have cell phone, we got FaceTime, so we're tapped in. But you took it a step further, man. Y'all recently laid down your latest album, The Promise Stands, dropping everywhere, June 7th. But you recently laid that down, and you took it to the next level, bro. You flew to Orlando, right? Was it Orlando?
Yeah, flew out to Orlando. He stays in Kissimmee, Florida, so yeah, right in Orlando.
Okay, bet.
Flew out there, and that weekend from Friday to Monday. Friday I rested, obviously. Saturday, Sunday, we just put in work, and I was able to get done with the album.
Was it
music video and all that?
Was it laid? Did Austin unload a vault of pre-made beats, or was there some live production involved in the album making process?
Oh, there was live production, but most of the beats had already been established. He had been making me beats, like custom beats, throughout the whole process of me planning out this album and what I wanted to do. I knew the direction I wanted to take, the story I wanted to tell. We hadn't had all the lyrics written down yet. We didn't have hooks or anything like that. But he was sending all of these beats like, hey, I hear you on this. And so he sent me a big variety of beats, and we weeded them out when I got there, and
got to work.
got to work. And even up until yesterday, actually, I think we redid some instrumentation on like 2 or 3 songs.
Let's go. So
Yeah.
you're still, it's a live project.
Yep, it's a
Like,
live
it's
project.
breathing and well.
Yep.
That's cool, man. I like that. And I like being at that level because I'll be honest, that's a level I aspire to like reach into and tap into because as I create and I write,
Yeah.
record, like, you know, I've been going on for a few years now, 2.5, almost 3 years, but I still feel like I'm in those early stages of like, okay, here's the beat, that's the beat, here's the rhymes, that's the rhymes, there's the mix, there's the song.
Right.
But no, there's more to it.
There's way more.
And I think, and I could foresee that the community aspect is part of what allows, you know, you get into a thinking process, like a think tank, and you start pulling from different ideas and different verbiages or, you know, different word schemes. And next thing you know, like you're making changes and it's being fine tuned. And I think that's really cool, man.
It was beautiful, man, because I wasn't stuck in this box of like rappy Jeff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you know, and I love rap, I love bars, but I was like, man, I want to change up a little bit. I want to do something over here. Let's put some melodies here. Let's actually talk about stuff. Let's have a conversation with somebody. Let's tell stories. Let's bring
Yeah.
back storytelling on some of these records.
Let's go.
So, and that's what we did.
Man, that's cool. Random fact, like I've been doing this thing for like the last 5 days. My wife's getting pretty tired of it, but every time there's a song playing, I've been adding like my own background, like church choir vocals to
Right.
every song, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it don't even have to be a rap song.
It's like your signature now.
Yes, bro. Like I'm really, cause I don't know. I feel like it's pushing me to try to like find new pockets and, you know, use my voice differently. And I don't know. It's just fun. It's cool. But it kind of reminds me of like that process of like y'all still changing the music and stuff. I think that's cool, man. It got me kind of excited. It kind of got me motivated,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
a little bit.
I think y'all both have the untitled link, so y'all get the changes as I put them in. So
Live updates.
it's dope. It's
That's
dope.
crazy, man. That's exciting, man. Real quick, before we talk, we might be limited on time. We might not. We'll see what happens. But we're doing all this talk. I'm getting excited. We're doing all this talking about rhyming and stuff, man. How you feel about laying down something like a freestyle?
Oh, freestyle. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it, man. I got a little beat here tapped in, so here we go. Y'all ready for this?
This will be like my warm up to like when Funk Flex invites me on. You know what I'm saying?
That's honestly, bro. That's a huge compliment. So this is the pregame, bro. Here we go.
Yeah. Look. I may not be as nice as Kendrick, but that's your opinion. Truth is, nobody else like Kid Prince. I got my own voice, my own mission. And this ain't even another beat, dog. It's another victim. Look, I'm going in like I don't see an exit sign. That boy on flip mode every time he busts the rhymes. You rappers blew your chance. I guess it's good I'm next in line. I choose to rap God, the rest of them select a lie. But if you walk in my shoes, you couldn't last a mile. I remember sleeping in the Ford Taurus, dreams of going on tours, giving a good performance. Keep my pockets pouring with cash for some endorsements. Facing more fights than Chuck Norris, always getting grilled like George Foreman. My dreams guarded by 3 bears. I stole the porridge. I told, yo, don't stop me, just keep recording. See, it's important. Got something to say to y'all. They blinded the Ray Charles with shades on. In the room dark in the Akon. Look, I'm just trying to lift the weight off your eyelids and catch a glimpse of his love just like God did. I had to change it up, the thug life ain't work. Rumor is I pumped out and ran straight to the church. My occupation is dying daily, I'm driving a hearse. It's a special type of car that never goes in reverse. I'm yelling Jesus, look at me like I curse. He took the cross from me, so I know what I'm worth. But they've been looking down on me ever since my birth. I've been hated on ever since I touched this earth. It's no wonder why that boy surviving eating on dirt. My nickname is Steve Harvey, all I do is work. When I started rapping, everybody laughed at first. Now I'm spitting fire, now they asking me for a verse. I'm catch the beat. See, I don't do it for the moolah, I do it for Yeshua. Before that, I was tripping like I didn't have my shoes tied, but now I'm saved, praise God, screaming hallelujah. My God is a boss, you can't measure to my ruler. I dive into his word, I dive deeper than a scuba. 66 clips, I stay packing like a mover, ready for me to slip like a hidden state trooper. I'm a nightmare to beats, they calling me Freddy Krueger. How I do it?
Yo,
Flawless victory.
that was crazy. That was crazy. I tried to keep up a mental list of like the something blacker than Akon. That was crazy. Something I die daily. My occupation is driving a hearse. Crazy. Too much, bro. I'm gonna have. That is gonna be. I already know the YouTube analytics. That is gonna be the most rewatched section of this episode.
Fire.
That was great, man. Man, go ahead, man. Do your thing, bro. And just so y'all know, that's like a regular situation with Prince here. Like we were at the Airbnb, or correction, we were at the Verbo.
Yeah.
Classy. We were at the Verbo a few weeks ago, and homie was just annihilating every beat. So man, a true inspiration to hip hop heads, a true inspiration to writers and artists alike. It's a no wonder it took them, less than 2 months to swoop you in, bro. You got something, and you've been doing it for a long time, man. You've always been a shining light everywhere you go, and you've always put in that work. So
Praise God, man. Thank you.
Yeah, for real. We're excited, man, for the album. I don't know, man. I just don't know, like, how this is gonna. I feel like this is gonna make an impact, not only in you and like the people that keep up with you and follow you, social media, listen to your music, but like this. I feel like this is gonna step outside of that. Would you say that you feel the same, or is this just another? It's kind of like day to day.
No, this project specifically, man, it holds so much weight because I think back like just a couple years ago, I lost everything. You know what I'm saying? And there's more things, like so many people don't know much about me, but my wife and I, we were married to other people, right? We dated all through high school, did our own college thing, fell in love other places, literally separated the worst around the same time.
Wow.
The Lord brought us back together. We created this like crazy life, and so like losing everything, someone had spoke to me and said, man, the Lord's going to double everything that you lost. That's his promise to you. And he did just that, man, and more. And there was never any doubt in what the Lord can do. But Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah 29 speaks about this promise that the Lord had for the Hebrews and them finally getting to the promised land and what he was going to do. They were, I think, in prison for like 70 years. And he said, hey, I'm going to deliver you from Babylon. I did not raise my hand off of you. I would not forsake you. Like, I'm here for you. I will get you to that land. And, for the promises, I know the promises that I have for you. And so that always stuck with me, man. And I'm starting to see a lot of that coming to fruition now. So this project is just a testament of that.
It's like perfect timing.
Yeah.
It's like the promise stands as you're seeing fruit of the promise standing.
Yeah, and then there's more promises that
and there's more
that we haven't walked into yet, but
we by faith stand on them.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good, bro.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's kind of like that's the meaning behind the
meaning
title
behind
of the album.
When you listen to the project, you'll hear testimony of my life before the Lord. You'll hear me encountering him for the first time. You'll hear where my life is at now, this whole process, and then my expectations of what he's still going to do in my life. So yeah,
I'm excited, man. I can't wait to run this one up. What's your do you have a strategy for like content rollout, or are you kind of just going with the flow?
I've been studying with content. I think if a lot of y'all don't know, Austin White 711 has been like kind of like someone that I really like how he rolls out his content, stuff like that. Staying visually present. I hate social media. I really do. Never liked it.
It's a headache, bro.
Never liked it.
It's a full-time job.
But I get inspired to see other people around me be creative and do stuff. And I get to kind of just do whatever I want and not really care about algorithm and things like that.
Yeah.
So like my process right now is just introduce myself to people who don't know me. A lot of y'all have seen me at shows. Y'all have seen me with other people. I'm specifically talking to DFW, but for those of you who are listening to me in Dublin and in Finland and
come on, Dublin,
in New York, like all of these, I keep track of like who's listening. And for all of you, like this project is really going to introduce you to me, and hopefully keep you here so we can keep worshiping the Lord together. If
Mm-hmm.
you're having questions and you're wondering what's next in your life, just know that He promised to always be there. So this is what this project is talking about.
Just know that the promise
It
stands.
stands.
Let's go, man. Everybody across the world, anybody listening to this podcast, before we get out of here, I'm gonna let my man's end it with a message to y'all. But my message to y'all, man, is just thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for spending time. I hope you learned a little bit more about my brother here, Kid Prince. And I want to encourage you right now, pull out your Instagram, give this man a follow, Kid Prince. That's the number 4 ever. Kid Prince forever. Hit up that Remnant Sonics page, Remnant Sonics GFX. Hit up that YouTube channel. Go sub to all of that. I'll put the links down in the description. And more importantly, get ready for this album tomorrow at midnight tonight. Matter of fact, if you're watching this the day of, The Promise Stands drops everywhere, June 7th. And that's my piece. I'm going to slide it one more time to Kid Prince, and then we're going to get out of here, y'all. If you want to say anything, bro, that's all you right there.
Yeah. Hey, I love y'all. Thankful for you guys. Just remember, again, He's so good. He wants you. He wants a relationship with you. And there's nothing you can do to disappoint Him. I mean, He created you. He already knows your heart. Don't try to hide it from Him, man. Just bring it to Him and let Him do that work.
Work. I'll see y'all next time, man. Grace and good friends. We're out of here.